Beth Ralston glanced at her watch as the office party hummed softly around her. The law firm's conference room had been transformed for the evening. Balloons half deflated, streamers drooping, a few clusters of colleagues chatting and laughing with forced cheer. The scent of cheap wine and catered food mingled in the air, but Beth was mostly tuned out. Parties like this weren't her scene. She preferred the quiet order of her desk and the clarity of legal documents to these awkward social gatherings. Tonight, though, she had a reason to be here. Her sister Lindsay was supposed to meet her. Lindsay, her +1, the person she trusted most in the world. Beth had texted her repeatedly throughout the evening. No reply. She had called twice, voicemail. And now, nearing 10 o'clock, that familiar knot of anxiety had settled deep inside her chest. She pulled out her phone again and played the voicemail Lindsay had left hours earlier. The message was short, cryptic. Lindsay's voice low and tense. "Don't ask. Don't follow." Beth swallowed hard. Lindsay only used that phrase when she was tangled in something dangerous, something she couldn't or wouldn't explain. It wasn't a joke. It was a warning. Her heart raced as the meaning settled in. She could leave. She could pretend she never heard it. But her feet felt rooted to the spot. She couldn't walk away. Beth turned toward the door. As she stepped into the corridor, her eyes caught a sudden movement near the back exit. A figure burst through the door. Without thinking, Beth moved toward the door Lindsay had just passed through. But then a chill stopped her. The partners' offices were still lit, and one door, Mr. Sanderson's office, stood ajar. Curiosity warred with fear. She stepped inside. The scene froze her in place. Her boss, Mr. Sanderson, lay collapsed on the floor. His eyes were closed, face pale and slack. A dark stain spread beneath him, staining the plush carpet. Glass from a shattered desk lamp lay scattered among scattered papers. The office, usually so controlled and orderly, had become a place of violence. Beth's breath caught when she spotted Lindsay disappearing down the back stairs, vanishing into the night. "Don't ask, don't follow." The words echoed in her mind, but Beth knew she couldn't obey. Not this time. Her hands shook as she dialed 911. Her voice was steady, betraying none of the turmoil inside her. Police and paramedics arrived within minutes, their footsteps heavy on the marble floors. The firm shut down the next day. Officially, a security precaution. Unofficially, panic. Employees whispered behind closed doors. Some cried. Others were silent, faces drawn tight with fear. The FBI moved in, setting up in the conference room, turning the familiar office into a tense investigation hub. Beth was the last person to see Sanderson alive, and with Lindsay missing, suspicion quickly turned toward her. She wasn't just fighting to clear her sister's name, she was fighting to uncover what had really happened. Late one evening, an envelope appeared slipped under her door. Inside, photocopies of internal memos, payments routed through a labyrinth of shell companies, references to a biotech firm desperate to control secrets. And most troubling, Lindsay's name listed as a consultant. Questions exploded in Beth's mind. Why was Lindsay involved? Was she part of something bigger? She confronted Janice Holtz, the firm's senior partner. At first, denial, then evasions. Finally, a reluctant admission. Sanderson hadn't just been a demanding boss. He was selling client information, secretly trading sensitive legal data to the biotech company. Lindsay had uncovered it by accident and tried to expose it. Beth's world shattered. The stakes were far higher and far darker than she'd imagined. Threats followed. Her apartment was broken into, files deleted, and then a lipstick-written message on her bathroom mirror, still asking, still following. Fear would have made most people run, but Beth refused to stop. With the help of a trusted IT friend from the firm, she recovered encrypted emails hidden in Sanderson's cloud backups. The evidence painted a damning picture. Janice Holtz was the true mastermind, orchestrating the corruption and silencing dissent. Beth took the evidence to the FBI. The case exploded in the news. Janice was arrested. The biotech firm came under investigation. And Lindsay, who had gone underground to protect herself, finally reappeared, exhausted but alive. They met in a quiet diner days later. Lindsay looked older, worn by fear and secrecy, but smiled at Beth with tired relief. "I told you not to ask," she said softly. Beth shook her head, a small smile tugging at her lips. "But I had to follow." The firm crumbled. Clients fled. The offices emptied. But from the ashes came something new. Beth was offered a role on a government inquiry team to track fraud and corporate corruption. She accepted, not because she wanted a new job, but because she had found a new purpose. She had spent years believing the law was about order. Now she understood it was about courage, about standing up when others run, about asking the hard questions, especially when told not to. Because in any office, no matter how polished, trust is fragile. Loyalty can be a weapon, and silence can make you complicit. Beth learned that sometimes the greatest danger isn't the stranger in the room. It's the person you've known all along.